I think there are three big initiatives that we're focusing on this time of year. First, the assessment season is very nigh, and so based on how our students do, people make determinations about the school district. So our teachers and principals and central office staff are really focused on getting prepared for the assessment season, and that's ACT, TCAP assessment, writing assessment, and a myriad of other assessments that we're required to take in Tennessee. The second thing that we're focusing on is the budget process. This time of year is when our school board begins developing a budget in preparation for going to the county commission requesting funding for next school year, the 13-14 school year. And then thirdly, we're really focused on the legislation that's being debated on Capitol Hill right now. There's about 90 bills related to education that are being debated, and we want to make sure that to the extent that we can, that we maintain local control in our schools, and that any legislation that might get passed doesn't have any unintended consequences for us here in Williamson County. One of the things that we've done in Williamson County is we have actually crafted a bill that would be beneficial not only to Williamson County, but some of our sister school districts in the state of Tennessee. The purpose of that bill, entitled the High Performing School District Flexibility Act, is to give local school districts as much autonomy and flexibility in crafting the way that we do business in exchange for increased accountability and performance. Well, the High Performing School District Flexibility Act does a couple of things. First of all, in Tennessee, the county commission's responsibility is to approve the funding for local school districts. This Flexibility Act, or bill, if it becomes an act and is passed, would give the school district some flexibility in the way that we spend money that's already been budgeted for and improved locally. In addition, it gives us some of the similar flexibility that charter schools in the state of Tennessee have. As an example, it currently takes me 36 working days and 5 public meetings to add a teacher to our ranks if the need arises, whereas a charter school can do so in 1 day. And so we want to make sure that we don't have a bunch of bureaucracy standing in the way of being a flexible and responsive organization based on the needs of our students. Well, there are a number of bills, 90, that are being floated at the House and the Senate that could potentially impact us. Some of those bills have financial consequences to us. Either they're going to make us give money back to the state for something, or they're going to increase the cost of doing business. So the reality of it is the $30,000 that we're spending on our lobbyists to work on the Hill is money well spent, because they're actually going to end up saving the school district money in the long run. Let me give you an example of that. One of the proposed bills is to establish a regional charter school across many areas of Tennessee. And some of our students may get to participate in that regional charter school. Regardless of whether they do or not, the proposed bill requires us to send $25,000 to the state to establish that charter school, or I'm sorry, to establish that virtual school. And we don't want to do that, obviously. We don't want to send our money back to the state. So if the lobbyists help us defeat that one bill, then they will have paid for their services already. So we feel like it's a very good investment, and it will more than pay for itself. One, we want to make sure that the flexibility bill that we've written is going to get passed so that it gives local school districts some flexibility that are doing a good job. Secondly, we want to be proactive. We want to make sure that we influence state and state decisions as it relates to how we conduct business in a manner that lets us keep local control. We don't want the federal government or the state government telling us how to do business, to the extent that that's practical. And then thirdly, we want to play a little bit of defense. We want to make sure that there's not intrusion on the way that we do business, and there aren't any unintended consequences because a bill got passed.